and welcome back, Monticello, for another installment of Diabetic Cooking. Today we're going to be working on a Jamaican barbecued pork tenderloin. This is actually one of the more complicated recipes that I'm going to be doing. Just bear with me on this, and I guarantee you the flavor is going to be worth it. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is start with the first batch of ingredients. We're going to need about half a teaspoon of ground ginger, about 1 teaspoon of ground allspice, that's A-L-L spice. If you don't know what these spices are at your local Ingles, then you'll be able to find them. Ask somebody where you can find them. And here we're going to have half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Then we have half a teaspoon of onion powder. We're also going to need about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and I also added another 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper. We're also going to need some cayenne pepper. This is 1/4 teaspoon. It gets really spicy if you add more. And then we're going to need about half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And the other ingredient we're going to need for the initial rub is some brown sugar. So we're just going to add two teaspoons of 2 packed teaspoons of this. Okay. So let's just go ahead and prepare our rub. Every ingredient that I just talked about, just go ahead and mix it in. Okay. And cinnamon. So let's just go ahead and grind that up nicely. Alright, now that we have our rub mixed up, we're going to take 1 piece of pork tenderloin that I have here. Always with these recipes, you always want to trim the excess fat. So let's just go ahead and get the rub going. And transfer it to a pan. Now this, like many of the recipes that I've been cooking, this can be grilled or broiled. I'm opting to stay inside today, so I'm just going to broil this on about medium heat. And I already had my oven turned on from earlier. I'll just transfer this to the middle rack. Okay, so I placed the pork in the oven. I'm going to leave it there about 3 minutes on each side. I'm going to turn it every 3 minutes until it's all brown on the outside. Then I'm going to remove it and put it on a cooler part, basically the bottom rack, still on broil. And while that's happening, I'm just going to go ahead and prepare the next mixture that we're going to need. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, we're going to need about a quarter, not too much salt, about a quarter teaspoon of salt, about half a teaspoon of dark honey, about 1 teaspoon of paste, tomato paste. Fill it in here. Okay. And about 2 teaspoons of wine vinegar. That should do it. Okay. And just mix that up. And this is basically going to be what you're going to be basting it with. ready. Alright, it's been about 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and turn it. Okay, for another 3 minutes. Alright, now that I've browned all 4 sides, nice and good, right there. I'm just going to baste. Baste it. The mixture we just made. Okay. That's one time. And I'm also going to remove it and put it on the lower rack. Because you don't want it so terribly hot. Okay. So you cook that for another 14 to 16 minutes. Alright, so we've cooked the pork for about 14 minutes now. I stuck a meat thermometer in there, and you want it to be at least 160 degrees. Alright, so you're going to let it sit here for about 5 minutes. I'm going to transfer it to the block and then cut it up. Alright, so this piece here should make about 6 servings. Let's go ahead and cut into it. See what it looks like. And it's perfectly cooked on the inside. Here. So you can pair this, of course, with one of the other diabetic friendly recipes, side items. Now this is only actually about 180 calories per serving. One loin will make, like I said before, a serving for 6. And hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.